So 2, through, and away. So obviously that's broken down, but it looks like this from both sides. 2, through, away. 2, through, away. All right, so let's go over some basic footwork when it comes to entry. Some people like to make this very complicated, but the footwork that goes along with making entry into a room is not very complicated. I quite literally break it down into 3 steps: 2, through, and away. So let's go over it. So when I'm ready to make entry, ideally I want my outboard foot staged back. So this is going to be the one back, and my inboard foot, this is relative to the door and the wall. My inboard foot, i.e. the one closest to the wall, is going to be forward, and my outboard foot is going to be back. But when I'm ready to make entry, first thing I'm going to do is my 2-step. So my outboard foot steps to the door, then my inboard foot steps through the door, and then my outboard foot goes away. So we step away from the door, and as we are stepping away, we're doing our secondary scan. So from the other side, it looks like this. So 2, through, and away. So obviously that's broken down, but it looks like this from both sides. 2, through, away. 2, through, away. So some key points here. With my outboard foot, when I'm doing that 2-step, I want to step more or less center of the door, give or take, and relatively close to it. I don't want to be stepping out because I want to be able to penetrate as deep into the room when I'm doing my through step. So I'm stepping to the door, more or less center line of the door, and pretty close to it. Then when I'm taking my through step, the big thing here is I want to step deep into the room. It will look better from this side. So when I'm stepping to, right, I'm stepping close to the door and relatively center of it. And when I'm doing my through step, I'm stepping deep through the door. The reason I don't want to do a shallow step, I don't want to be doing something like this, is because now with my away step, I have to like go around the door and it becomes very awkward. Kit's going to catch on the door frame and all that. So with that through step, with that penetrating step, I want to step really deep into the room, and now I have plenty of clearance for what was my outboard foot to step away from the door. And as I'm stepping away, I'm doing my secondary scan. So again, 2, through, away. Now with the away step, I'm generally only going to take 1 step away from the door in most cases. If it's just going to be like a 4-man entry, then of course I'll take more steps. So it might be 2 or 3 steps depending on how tall you are, how long your legs are. So it might look something like this, or I take 2 or maybe even more steps away from that door to give the number 3 and 4-man room to make entry, of course. But generally speaking, most entries are 2 guys. So I only need to take 1 step away from that door and then perform my secondary scan. And the easiest way to do this is to set up that footwork prior to the entry. So when this door opens, right now I have the opposite footwork. My outboard foot's actually forward because this is better and more ideal when you're actually slicing and taking angles. But when I'm collapsing back and going to put myself in a position to make entry, I'm actually going to swap my footwork and slice from this. Now my footwork is already set for this entry. So whether I'm the number 1 or number 2 man, I just make entry and my footwork's already set up for that entry. We want to avoid having the opposite footwork when we can for the entry. Sometimes this happens. You just gotta deal with it. But this can be kind of weird because now I almost have to like take a weird lunging step with my outboard foot that's already forward before doing my through step. And again, it can be done, and sometimes you just have to do it, especially when things are being a little bit more dynamic and you don't have the time to necessarily swap that footwork. But it's not ideal. And whenever we can, we want this setup for our footwork. It better initiates this entry. Anyways, I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you did, please like and subscribe. I'm Tyler Austin from Gungnir Strategic. Thank you so much for watching.